Hi there, it's your second favorite DP right here, okay? No, that's Deadpool, you silly little Hufflepuff. Anyways, I'm gonna need you to shut up that pretty little mouth of yours and pay attention because the show's about to start, alright? And, I don't know about you, but I know who's my vote for sexiest ex-soldier turned pop culture show host. Alright, enough foreplay, let's get on with the show.
Every week's an epic feat. They shed light on what's the trend. When will the madness ever end? From movies to the latest shows, you never know how far they'll go. Come aboard and take the ride. Let's uncover what's inside. Warriors of the night, here to fight. Pop culture explosions in the spotlight.
Hey everybody, welcome one and all. It is, what is today? September 9th, 2025. This is episode 216 of Pop Culture Warrior, the show where I stay up to date on all the ins and outs of what's happening in pop culture so you don't have to. I am, of course, your malefacent? I'm your malfeasant host. CQ. But of course, I can't do it alone. There's just too much culture in the pop world. So, without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, your co-host for the evening. You know him, you love him, Mr. Mad Pie.
The yin to your yang. And I don't know, when did you become a fucking sorceress?
Sorceress?
Yeah, Maleficent, sorceress. Fucking turn into a dragon now? I wasn't made aware of this.
I was not updated.
This is talk. You just throw words out there. You're not supposed to correct me.
This was not talked about on the team meeting. Hey, everybody. How y'all doing out there? At least you're not malignant. Yes, that's right. The sports bar. We're not malignant here. If anything, we are tumorous? Cancerous? What's the opposite of malignant? We're repugnant? Benign? We're definitely B9 over here.
Bingo.
Bingo. Oh, man. Background is missing. Like, you know what? It is. It is. It is.
Gosh, so demanding already.
I know, right? You know what it is? You
want
gotta
audio or you
bit.
want lights? You know, if he fucks with shit, we're gonna lose something.
You want video or audio?
Hit the lights and then things are gonna go smoking and shit.
Video or audio? You get one. Oh man, people were telling me I was too dark last week, and I'm like, all right, I cranked up the lights. I was
trying to look tan.
Darker. I'm trying to look darker. Oh man, I don't know what else I can do. I mean, I can crank up the lights a little more, but I'm like, Jesus, I'm blind looking at the screen at this point.
Mine faces up. That's why I'm like, I'm not looking at that shit. Fucking migraine for doing this stupid
Welcome to the show, everybody. How you guys doing tonight?
You can see us, I hope, because my retinas are fried.
Am I looking at the camera? I can't tell. Marco.
Next week, we both need fucking laser eye surgery.
Marco. The audience is both at home going, Polo.
Yeah.
Oh God, it's already starting. That's what I forgot.
I know what to talk about.
Yeah. So first off, because Mad Mike brought up a good point while we were in the green room getting ready. I am way overdue for a giveaway. So I have made an executive decision. The next episode that we do not have a guest, the whole second hour will be giveaways. Look at that shit. We just giveaway bonanza. It's going to be
He just told me we're booked till like 2027. So
I don't have an opening.
Enjoy that one. Really wait for that one to come out.
The day I don't have a guest, I'm like, well, I'm retiring. We're calling it. I'm out. I'm done. No. Yeah, we do have a couple guests coming up. But hey, Fred, I appreciate that. Thank you. Neat that you can control the lights from the desk. Yeah. App, man. Fucking apps do everything. Yes, my stuff is piling up. Yes, you are correct. The only thing, so that's the giveaway thing. And then the only other thing that I wanted to share is we're doing New York Comic Con. It's happening. And right now, I know you're not available. I know King's not available. I know Nemo's not available. So we're really short staff as far as who's coming out to New York Comic Con. I'm just putting it out there in the ether, into the WTF sphere. If you would like to join me and Plague at New York Comic Con and have exclusive press access, hit me up. We'll talk about it. We'll see what we can do. But we do have extra press passes, and we are short-staffed, so we'll get what we can get. But when is New York Comic Con? That's a great question. It will be October 9th through the 12th.
Thursday to Sunday.
Yep, Thursday through Sunday, October 9th through 12th. I will be getting up there the 8th because usually they'll have like a preview night. They'll have networking events, all these things. K Mill, man, if you're out there and you want in, done.
Hey, if you're like Patreon, whatever, platinum package. He'll let you sleep in the same bed as him.
All right, you're gonna laugh. You're gonna laugh. We've done that in the past. We absolutely not the whole Patreon sleeping in bed with you, but we've you make certain concessions in that you do the best you can, what you got, and there have been times where we had to share beds
Not the butt.
in our coverage of New York Comic Con. I will say this year, me and Plague are going, and we I can't even say
Got
with a straight
another
face.
one bed hotel room. Last year he's like, I got a great deal on a room. It was only like $185 a night downtown. And then like a month prior, he's like, it's one bed and there's like 4 people.
We got a room. We
Sounded
got a
too good to
room.
be true.
We got a room with bunk beds. we're gonna do bunk beds for New York Comic Con.
All the fun.
There's so much room for activities, It's gonna be so many activities. So we are gonna be doing that. New York Comic Con's happening. Very excited. Who knows? Dude, we're a month away. And I have zero idea what we're doing. But as always, it's going to be awesome. And it's going to be legendary. So if K Mill is out there and he's coming, then we still have one more spot available. If you or anyone that watches this show that wants to participate and is willing to come out to New York, because I know I don't got it like that where I can spring for someone's tickets, but we do got press passes, and we'll figure out. I don't know what you're gonna do with lodging. It's gonna be tight. It's gonna be tight with just. I think me and Plague are going, and I want to say now we're going like Wednesday all the way through Sunday. It is New York. It's very expensive. I think the hotel was like $1,800. Like it's price, and that's for a tiny room with bunk beds. It's literally called a pod. I found a room called the pod.
Nice.
So yeah.
It's like that Japan hotel. You're like in a fucking hallway. It's like
just a hole.
Just a bed, like on a ship or something.
They just dig holes. You just like stand up in the hole. You're just standing.
Or in the subway. Fucking train going by every 5 minutes.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Why is Phil saying Mike tits right meow? All right, cool. I can see your epidermis. Phil, wait, man, Phil's excited for Mad Mike tonight. Hey, how you doing? How you doing?
I got some weird filter on me.
The pores. I could see your pores. So New York Comic Con's coming up. Very excited for that. Probably more giveaway shit that I'm like, literally I look off camera and there's this mountain that's growing and undulating in my room here in my studio, and it is a lot. It's a lot of stuff. It's a lot of stuff. But my plan is to get it all gone come the holiday season this year. So one way or another, it's going. It's absolutely going. But how you doing, man? We haven't chatted in a while. What you been up to?
Good.
Yeah.
Running social media. Been slaying bugs. Joined this, elite unit of space freedom fighters.
So you're finally in with democracy, huh?
Yeah.
You're
spreading
finally...
democracy all over the spaces. No, because I fucking was like, oh, Nemo, let's get together and play the other game, the SWAT game.
Ready or not.
And he's like, oh, all right, well, I've been playing the Helldivers if you guys want to hop on. And I was like, oh, fuck it. So I freaking bought it, and you sold me out. Actual King Smith sold us out.
What do you
mean?
mean?
It was me, him, and Trees, and we were fucking shit up all night. So yeah, I bought it because that's what he was gonna play, and I already made a commitment.
Cannot get a game, and
now I haven't played Ready or Not, and I'll never fucking go back, and that was the whole problem.
You can't buy a game and that day be like, come on, let's go. Let's get out. Like,
Let's
no,
go.
no planning, no pre-thought,
There was
no
planning, it
heads
was
up.
earlier in the day. We're playing until like it was 2 days prior, sir.
You texted me like, hey, we're on, let's play. I'm like, the fuck? I've got a
We were
life, dude.
discussing everything in the chat. Someone probably don't fucking
Like,
look at
fucking hell, man. But yeah, anyway. We got some cool shit coming up with Nemo. But you're not doing that. You're not doing the thing.
No, I don't have a fucking computer.
You got to get a PC, bro. You got to get an actual computer instead of running that iPod you got doing this show from your fucking tape deck.
It's a fun, yeah, iPod. It's iPod Nano, sir.
You got that little fucking shit. It's a Polaroid camera that you're doing this show from. Anyway, let's see.
They had the Apple thing. Oh, was it later?
The Apple showcase. Yeah, no, it came out. It came out.
Well,
Everything
they got
was
17 cameras on it.
Everything was. It's more of the same. I will say the one thing that did surprise me, or not really surprise me, but the one thing that I was like, okay, that's kind of cool. They came out with the AirPod Pros 3, the new version of the AirPods Pro, which like, okay, it's a little smaller, so it stays better. It's got better battery life, which is awesome. The noise canceling is twice as better, but it actually has live translation. So you can put it in and listen as everybody's talking all their languages, and you'll get live translation right into your earphones.
That's cool.
So I think that's pretty cool. I think
That's dope.
you're gonna see a lot of AirPods at like the manicure, like, oh, we like O'Neill, what color, what color.
Does that transfer over to the old, like the twos?
No,
those fucking assholes.
Of course not. Of course
they
not.
could do it. It's just software.
Yeah,
Fucking
but no,
assholes.
it's a special proprietary AI 19 chip that is only available and said, yeah, whatever.
I'll
But
buy them on eBay again for $100.
I will say that I was surprised. The most surprising thing about all that, same price as last year's model. So the AirPods Pro 2, that was $249. The AirPod Pros 3 will be $249. I thought for sure they would jack up the price just for that alone. Be like, yep, $399. Just
you know what that tells me? It doesn't fucking work.
Probably.
Like, what? It's like probably really low or something. Like, what the fuck did you just say?
Did you just say to me? Like fried rice? What? What you call me?
New A19 Pro chip.
Yes.
I like how they always name the chips like we fucking know. Like, oh shit, not the A19.
It's
Oh
the
no,
A19
that's a bad boy
Jaguar.
right there.
But okay, first of all, I appreciate the simplicity of that. It's like the A17, the A19, because when you have other companies that are like, this is the new Linux XR CPT 12, and you're like, okay,
It's
what
like a fucking
is the
serial
next
number?
What's the next one? The 13? Like, no, it's the Jaguar quadruple trick twalk. And you're like, what? Like, they're all different names for shit. It's like when you get what's the one? It's like the GLX 35, and you're like, what? I don't know what any of that means.
I know. That's when I was looking at PCs. That's the problem I was having. I was like, what the fuck? Which one of these is good? I don't know. Fucking A, man. Just say like good, better, best. It's like all these weird fucking names that don't make any sense.
Letters and numbers mixed up together with fruit. No, like, say what you will. I've always appreciated the fact that PlayStation was like PlayStation 2, PlayStation 3, PlayStation 4.
Someone's like, what Xbox you got? And I was like, fuck, I don't remember.
The
about
Xbox
that
One
years
X
ago.
Series.
I was like
XS.
360. 360. They're like, you fucking play Helldivers 2 on a 360? I was like,
it's like 12 of them stacked on top of each other.
No, whatever. I got the newest fucking one. I don't know what the fuck it's called anymore. It's called Xbox, you weirdo.
They
I can't remember what it's called. What is it called?
Xbox
One.
Series X.
Series X. See, I still fucked it up. I don't fucking know.
Because then there's the Xbox One.
I got the big black one. It's tall. It's big.
I bet you do. I bet you do. Oh man. Anyway, I don't think there's anything else. Kind of State of the Union going on for a lot of change. WTF Nation Radio, a lot of change. Very excited. A lot of change. A lot of great things. A lot of big things. Big things are coming. you know, I don't. It's gonna be the greatest station of the world of all the veteran communities. It's WTF Nation Radio. But no, we got some new shows coming. Very excited. This past Monday, The King and Me aired on WTF Nation Radio, our new relationship, dating, marriage, divorce talk show. You know, Mondays at 7 p.m. Eastern, right before the Monday edition. So that was very nice. A great addition to the team. And actively building out 2 other shows that are currently in development, and very excited to see those come to life over the next couple weeks. And yeah, man, the family's growing. How do you feel about that? How do you feel about that? The WTF Nation Radio family.
I don't know them. I just show up here and that's it. It's not in my contract to do anything else. You know how I feel about other people?
You know how much I hate other people.
You look, I come on here and interact with people once in a while.
That's fair.
It's
That's
good
fair.
for you. It sounds like a lot of work, but I don't.
It's a fair amount of work, you know.
It's good for everyone else. I don't know. Well,
leading the free
I don't know
world.
if anyone else cares to watch anything, I don't know. Did anyone watch the new show? Did you like it?
Yeah, let us know.
I don't know. Do our fans watch the other stuff? I
don't like to say the word
Still out of
fans.
touch.
I feel like it's derogatory. Members of our community, you know,
Our bros and broettes.
our
Do you
bros
watch
and
the other
bras,
stuff?
our bros and bras out there. Let us know. Did you watch or not the Monday? It's just The King and Me on Monday night. Yeah, and are you looking forward to the new shows as well? Real quick, I'm gonna put you main screen. I need to grab something off camera, and I'm bottomless right now, so I'd rather not stand. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. Jesus. But I'm gonna put you on main screen. Hit us with a headline and walk us through it. So you are on the main screen. Go for it.
All right. Breaking news. Something I'm excited about. Surprise! Cillian Murphy's coming back as Thomas Shelby. It's been officially announced. It's going to be the Netflix movie, The Immortal Man, a Peaky Blinders film. And they gave us a release date in 2026. So not too far away next year. He's going to be doing that with Barry Keoghan, Tim Roth from Train Spotting, and a bunch of other stuff. And a bunch of other people that I never heard of. Oh, Silo's Rebecca Ferguson, Stephen Graham. And yeah, director Tom Harper. Written by series creator Stephen Knight, The Immortal Man. Drops him into the chaos of World War II. So the movie's gonna go to World War II. That'll be cool. Are you back? I'm fucking reading and I just hear slurping.
I was snoring. You're putting me to bed with like and then
I had to fucking come up with some shit on the fly here.
And then Sabrina Carpenter is gonna come on the show.
Sabrina Carpenter's not in here, man. You don't fucking listen. But install your A19 chip in your fucking asshole.
Miss Chat says Movie Phone needs to hire Mike to sell more movies.
Welcome to Movie Phone.
Welcome to Movie Phone.
Press 1 if you would like to hear showtimes. Boop. You press 2. Thank you. Goodbye. Motherfucker.
Calling Movie
Phone. That's all it would be over and over again.
Which one are you talking about? I didn't catch it. I walked away.
Fucking Peaky Blinders. Me and I almost forgot what I talked about too.
Jesus Christ, the Peaky Blinders, dude.
Did you ever watch that? It was a pretty good show.
Man, I tried.
I didn't finish it. I think I'm on like season 3. You gotta put subtitles on. I watched it without them, and then my wife's like, you know what they're fucking saying? Because I like don't do accents at all. I'm like purebred white. Like you talk slight fucking English, and I'm like, I don't know what the fuck you're saying. And she's like, you know what they're saying? I'm like, fuck yeah. And I said, and she's like, that doesn't sound right. And then she's like, put on the subtitles. And I was like, holy fuck, yeah, I was way off. And I was like,
you said the Billy Bob. You said the Billy Bob is going to the John, and there's gonna be a hot, and they're having halibut. Like,
He's
what?
getting a pint on the fucking merry-go-round. She's like, that don't sound right.
Doesn't sound right. It's some
They're
British
fucking
shit,
English. They do weird
it's,
shit.
It's
I don't
British
fucking
slang.
know.
Yeah. He's got to top on the bobby. I'm like, what?
No, I put the subtitles on. I was like, holy shit. Okay, now I understand what the fuck's going on.
That's fair.
But yeah, it is kind of, I don't know.
No,
There's
I
a lot of
tried. I
slowness.
tried.
I think I'm on season 3.
I got distracted. Yeah, I got distracted by too much shit.
Other shows, Marvel shows.
Marvel shows. Yeah, like what? I'm trying
Which
to think
Zombies is coming out this month.
Zombies
That'll
is
be pretty
coming
good.
out. Yep. No, lately I've been watching my wife Wednesday. She's big into the Addams
we
Family
watched that,
thing. So watching the Wednesday, watching
Dude, did you
Dexter
watch
Resurrection.
Peacemaker? Yeah, I watched all the. Wait, is Dexter still on? No, that's over.
There's a
isn't
new
it?
season. There's a new season.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think all the episodes are out now, aren't
Yes.
they?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, they finished. They wrapped up the
Whew,
season.
I think I'm pretty sure I finished it, but I don't know. My memory ain't that good.
Phil says, Mike, English is British. I'm guessing English is just drunken Marine talk.
Yeah. That's why I thought I had a grasp on it. I'm like, no, I'm way off.
No, way off. No, yeah, Peacemaker. Peacemaker's good. Did you see the theory about the best dimension ever? You've seen episodes 1 and 2, right?
I saw all 3 of them.
There's only 2 episodes out.
There's 3 episodes out.
There's
sir.
not 3 episodes, sir. There are 2 episodes.
No.
Let's go. I double dog dare you.
Either way, I'm all up to date. I watched it last night.
He's so up to date. He's a week ahead. He saw next week's episode.
Maybe I know some people. I fucking know John Cena, and no one else can see him. I can. It's a superpower, all right?
There are 2 episodes. And we're in. Wait.
Yeah, season 2, episode 3, another Rick up my sleeve. Am I the only one that has it on my fucking app? Did I hack some shit?
Oh, maybe there is 3 episodes. Maybe the first episode, it ends where he kills the dude. Yeah, you know what? There is 3 episodes.
I watched them. Yeah,
3 episodes. Yes,
it's right
yes.
there.
Because first episode he kills his doppelganger. Second episode ends where he goes through the portal to go in the other dimension, and the third episode just
text
ended.
the lady or whatever.
Yeah, and the third episode. You're right.
Second episode.
I was wrong. Everybody, calm down. Calm down.
Okay, thank you for watching PCW tonight. It was a great show.
I have to have like alarm bells. Woo, woo, woo.
Everyone's high-fiving and shit.
CK was wrong.
Got the over-under on that one.
All right, I was wrong. 3 episodes. Anyway, in the third episode, we see him in what he describes multiple times as the perfect dimension. Have you seen the theory behind the perfect dimension yet?
No. I was too busy watching the bird blindness awareness ads. Fucking hilarious.
Goddamn bird blindness.
Fucking duck attacked me. You tell me you had a duck.
He
Tell me you had a duck.
He said he had a meta duck. He's got a meta duck in there. Shit's got
That's
super
right,
powers.
a meta duck.
It's like, what? It's a regular eagle. This is not a meta
Howard the
duck.
duck or whatever.
Sorry, I hear meta duck. I think of Howard the Duck. So the theory is, and I had to go back and watch the episode because I was like, no. And then I watched back and I went, oh. The theory is that the perfect dimension is the one in which the, what is the politically correct way to say this? The Germans won, and it's a very clean community.
So
If you're
there's only white
tracking,
people in
it's
it.
all white
Okay.
people. And so I went, I was
And
like,
that's
no.
why the dad's not a huge villain and he's not a racist.
That's why he's a
So
hero. He's a hero. And so literally I went back and I watched and I went, holy shit. There's not a single person of color. Now remember, because they're showing 2 different dimensions at the same time, because you have Adobo or whatever her name is in the main dimension, and then you have him. When they're in the Peacemaker dimension, not a single
that's right.
person
She's not
of
in
color.
there. And they didn't mention Lawler either.
Anybody. No
And
one
then
is mentioned anywhere in there.
even the fat guy's not in it.
Yeah.
You know,
But like,
and then all the criminals, they were all white people too.
Mm-hmm.
It would have been the perfect, time to cast a minority.
Well, not if they've been all cleansed.
Dude,
Remember,
that shit fucked me up when that guy tripped. I was like, holy fuck. I wasn't expecting that at all. I like shit my pants a little at a body.
Yeah,
and go
he
away.
tripped and blew
So
up.
God damn, fucking PTSD.
That shit. I was like, ah!
All right, I'm gonna be up for fucking 3 hours now.
Which kids come in, Daddy, what's wrong? You're like, I was watching Peacemaker. Fucking Peacemaker. So that's the theory, is that, the perfect dimension is one in which that there are no people of color. That seems like a James Gunn twist.
Right up the alley. I mean, the guy is a huge fucking racist.
He is.
I'm surprised we didn't see him with the other dude when he came in. Like, he flew in and he flew through the helicopter. I'm surprised the dad wasn't there too, because it always shows the three of them in all the murals.
Yeah. Well, he's probably off doing
retired
something.
or something.
Yeah, exactly. He's probably retired now. His kids take over. But anyway, so yeah, no, watching Peacemaker, watching. Obviously, football's back, baby. We got football. I know this is Pop Culture Warrior, but if I can let my geekdom just fly a little bit to the left, love me football. I love football so much, and I love this. This was a week of just.
The Giants win? I didn't watch. I gave up. When I turned on, went fishing with my nephew, and I turned on the Dolphins game after halftime. I was like, "Fuck this," and I stopped watching.
The Giants did better than the Dolphins. We'll leave it at
Everyone
that.
did better than the Dolphins. They're going for a first-round draft pick, player.
Barely. When I say barely did better.
Daniel Jones fucking dominates you.
Yeah,
just
you mean
play.
Indiana Jones, the new gunslinger in town?
Just give up. Don't even play anymore.
Look, if I can take a moment. At this point,
who did you guys play, by the way?
We played the Commanders, Washington.
They're pretty good, though.
Yeah, I mean, no, they're a good team. They are a good team. And defensively, we held them in check for most of the game, but there's only so much the defense can do.
Russell Wilson? I can't fucking remember. Everyone switched around.
Yeah, Russell Wilson.
Where did the other guy go that was with him on the Steelers? The Chicago Bears ex-quarterback.
Caleb Williams? Or you mean Justin Fields?
Justin Fields. Fuck.
Justin Fields now in Pittsburgh. Or no, I'm sorry, Jets. Because Jets and Pittsburgh, they switched. So Jets gave up Aaron Rodgers.
So he played really good too. The Bears are probably kicking themselves in the ass.
Oh yeah,
because they only won by 1 or 2 points. Fucking Steelers.
That game, the Jets Steelers game was no defense whatsoever. Like they were just throwing touchdowns left and right.
Talking shit at the
42-37.
end. I'm happy to beat everyone in that organization. I was like,
I mean, would you expect anything? I will say this about the Giants. If I can talk about my Giants for a second. I do think there's a promising future. But at this point, the realization has to be the problem wasn't the running back because he left and had an MVP season. And apparently the problem was the quarterback because he goes to another town and throws 4 touchdowns and rushes for a touchdown.
Yeah. He was lights out, dropping that shit like it's hot over there.
It's like at some point you got to go am I the problem? Am I?
Is that Peyton Manning? Who the fuck they got over there?
It's like, are we the problem?
Anthony Richardson, god damn.
Can't catch a break.
I told you, everyone. I keep telling everyone, UF sucks dick, man. No one wants to believe me. Has any of their quarterbacks ever done anything in the NFL?
I don't know.
That's his question for Coach. Talk about it tomorrow.
Coaching king. Anyway, enough of that foosball.
So you guys need a new coach or a GM is what you're saying.
It's the O-line.
I like Tribble, though. He did good the first year.
Daboll is. I don't think Daboll's a bad coach. I think he's a good coach. It's the O-line. We have literally it'd be hand off the ball, tackle, drop back, sack. You can't play football if you don't have a line that's gonna make space for plays. Anyway,
that's been our problem forever. Fucking Ryan Tannehill had like set the most concussions ever in a season. It was like 30 or something. Not
Most people count touchdowns and
tackles.
interceptions. They
No,
count concussions.
most sacks in a season. And it was like in game 3, he had like 17 or something. It's like that dude can't see. Like that's why their quarterbacks suck.
Anyway.
3 receivers. But anyways, we're good
So,
in sports, I think.
The Lego. I had to, and I wish I'd be honest, I was running late today and I didn't grab any of the pictures to post them up because I wanted pictures. But Lego unveils its new 9,023 piece Death Star, the largest Star Wars set ever. It is massive. And it's releasing October 1st.
That's a lot. And I think they already had one, but I think
one
it
that was
just
pretty
the
big.
outside. This one's like the interior.
Yeah, like this is so the old one was the sphere, and so it didn't really have an inside, like it was all structure. This one is like if you took the Death Star and sliced it in half so that you can see all of the inner workings, and you see like the stations and the Palpatine's throne room, and like they even have a bunch of Easter eggs in there that are like non-canonical. So like in Lego Star Wars, the first game, there was a thing where if you went down a certain hallway, you see a stormtrooper in like in a hot tub. It's just that he's just got his helmet on and then he's like naked in the hot tub. So there's a special hatch that if you open up at the top, there's a stormtrooper in a helmet in a hot tub at the top of it. So there's cool stuff like that. And on the one hand, I get it. You know, if you're a fan, that's a lot. That's a lot. I mean, you
how long would that take? Like
I can't
even know. I think like I don't know how many pieces. I don't ever look at how many pieces they are. I've built some decent sized ones. I want to say it takes about 2.
I have a little Spider-Man head that's like this big, and it took me I think like an hour and a half of building it straight. And that's a little head that's like this big. So I can't imagine this intricately designed. Like, I'll be honest.
Big. That thing looks like it's 4 feet tall.
It's huge. It is exactly 20.6 inches high, 18.9 inches wide, and 15.1 inches deep, or what I like to call the CQ measurements.
Butthole.
And so, Anubis said it would take him 2 days to build. I mean,
that's a long fucking time.
Yeah, if you didn't stop, maybe. I've seen, like, you remember they did the Avengers Tower one? Yeah. Dude, I was so close to getting it, but I'm like, that's just too much. That's too much for me. I thought it would look so cool in the background, but I'm like, that's just too much.
Never gonna build it. You're
that's
gonna be like, hey, who wants to come to my house and build this?
The other thing about this, and you know, you could say, oh, it's for the kids and it's for the Star Wars.
They don't fucking build it. No kid's gonna build that.
No kid's
You're gonna be building it, and then what? The other thing is the kids that you build it for them and you put it in their room, and then like 2 fucking minutes later it falls and breaks or whatever.
Or like if it's my kid, he's like, oh, I'm going to disassemble it and put it back together. And I'm like, no, you're not. And then there's just pieces everywhere. And they have no idea how to put it back together.
That's be super gluing them bitches together, each one. Like, this shit's never coming apart.
This is permanent now.
Epoxy that shit.
The thing about this is, it is costing, before tax, $1,000. It is a $999.99 Lego set. Who
$1 a piece, basically.
It's a 9,000 piece puzzle, so it's
yeah, I got it.
It's over 9,000 pieces. Over 9,000.
I'm trying to do math tonight. Okay, just go along with it. God damn.
Yeah, it's $1 a piece. $1 a piece. It's a $9,000 set.
$9,000 fucking Lego.
But I'm like, who spends $1,000 on a Lego?
People do. They should sell.
Why?
Credit card, playa. People pay $1,000 to see Taylor Swift. Like, okay, I'm
I mean,
not
that is
surprised
true.
people pay $1,000. People pay thousands of dollars on Pokemon cards, for fuck's sake.
That's true. That's true. Tons of it. So in
Legos come back, man. They're a thing now.
2005 was the first time Lego released a major Death Star set, an impressive large-scale model, which was it had 0 interiors or minifigures. It was a 3,449 piece model that was purely for display. Then they released the Death Star in 2008, which was a play scale model going in the opposite direction, where there was no like flesh. It was like a sphere, but it had little panels, and so that you had minifigs and all that, but no exterior panels, and that was 3,800 pieces. And then in 2016, the Death Star was essentially an update of the 2008 model, featuring upgraded features and minifigs, which largely retained the same design, which was 4,000 pieces. And that was the one featured in Spider-Man. Remember when he's building, he's like,
Yeah.
and then he saw him, he's like, and then
and he drops it.
Yeah. Like, I get it was for a gag, but there's a prop guy that's like, I fucking had to build that for fucking 6 days for
they probably had 5 of them because
Yeah.
they fucked up that line. It's like they have a whole team of people back there building those fucking things.
Like, just for the gag. But yeah, so this thing is fucking massive. Absolutely
And apparently
massive.
Star Wars Legos are very popular.
I guess
They
so.
did 6 fucking Death Stars.
Yeah.
I think that's what I see the most of, is Star Wars ones anyway.
Oh my God, that's not a bad idea. He said turn FTX into a Lego building night. Just have 4 dudes just like, motherfucker, stupid ass. Where's the blue piece? Where's the blue piece?
Where's packet number 2?
God
Don't
damn
you
it.
open all the packages first?
Don't mix your pieces with my pieces.
I separate them all. I pull them all out and I put them all in order. That's what takes so fucking long.
Now, I regret that.
And then I forget what I'm doing, and I read the directions fucking 5 times. Like, okay, what am I doing? Okay, put the red dot there. I'm like, fuck.
I regret that when I first started doing Legos with my kid, because it was simple, right? There were tiny little sets. And I was like, oh, I'll help you. And, because, kids are like, no, I want to do it. All right. I said, well, let's do this to make it easier. Let's separate the colors. Because they were like 3 colors. It was like red, white, and blue.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, all right, let's separate the colors. Apparently, you got to be careful what you teach your kids, because it becomes a permanent part of their fucking personality. Because now it's like, here's this 10,000 set piece. And he's like, all right, let's start by organizing the colors. I'm like, it's the fucking rainbow. There's hundreds of colors.
That's what I do. Same fucking thing.
That's not blue. That's teal, Dad. Like, God damn it. Cerulean.
Buy the colorful ones. How many colors is this thing? All right, I'm not buying it.
Oh, God. Scott wants to know about giveaways. We addressed giveaways right off the top. If you were too late to find out about it, oh, well.
It's pretty much 2027.
We've got it slotted for somewhere in the 2030s. We've got it slotted. There's a soft date. What other news is there? Which I totally forgot to mention. We have a guest tonight. Probably should have led with that up front. We do have a guest joining us in the second hour, Dustin Adair, who is the CEO and founder of, it's called Scary Robot Games. This guy's been in the business forever. He was a VFX artist for movies and TV, and now has a game company. And so we're going to talk all about it. So it's going to be a lot of fun. It's going to be an interesting conversation. So stay tuned. Another 20 minutes. He'll be on. Until
Highlanders got a bunch of new people.
Oh, yeah. Man, who cares about this?
You
know it's going to be bad.
Digimon, Hunsu, Russell Crowe. It's like all these people in it.
The only man worse at names than me is you.
Yeah. I always thought it was Digimon Houston, and it's like, I don't know.
No.
Yoon Sao.
I thought it was Demon.
Digimon Pokemon. Digimon Pokemon.
It's not
the guy
Digimon.
the guy from fucking
Oh God,
Gladiator.
Yeah. So we haven't done a segment in a long time where we used to do, which was named by you, surprisingly, the one creative thing you've ever done, was named the segment Eat It or Yeet It. And so you went ahead and pulled together a lovely assortment of items. And we're going to start with, oh God.
Go all the way to the KFC one.
Yeah, that's
Like,
what I'm going to start with. KFC is getting weird again with a bag of jelly beans featuring fried chicken and gravy flavored candies. So there's 3 flavors. There's fried chicken, sweet corn, and gravy.
It's like, why? And you know, it always tastes like slightly weird. It doesn't taste exactly, well, you're not going to get the fried chicken because they're not going to tell you all the spice. You're going to put 17 herbs and spices in a jelly bean? Fuck,
Is
no,
it
you're
17?
not.
I thought it was 11. 11 herbs and
I don't
spices.
fucking know the number. Close enough. Just roll with it, man.
I'm just correcting all your numbers
got
tonight.
my PhD in fucking KFC, all right?
All your numbers are fucked up tonight, man.
Just fucking roll with it.
Just
The
go with it.
349 all spices.
All 9,000 spices. $1 a spice. But yeah.
What the fuck happened to my messenger?
I just like
It's just gross. Like, I don't
I'm
eat those
kind of
flavors.
curious.
It's like okay, the gravy tastes like somebody peed in it. Sweet corn.
Why not mashed potatoes? I feel like potato would have been an easier
Easy to do.
jelly bean. Like corn, I guess.
And I want to know what they're doing. Like, what are they adding to get it to try to taste similar to that? Like, what the fuck are you putting in there?
You've never had fried chicken flavoring? Or gravy flavor?
It's like cinnamon and something. I don't know.
Yeah. So yeah.
Okay. Anyone want that? Like, anyone like, oh fuck you.
We definitely got a
KFC jelly
yeet.
beans?
A yeet in the audience. Let us know, man. Eat it or yeet it. Because
And they're doing a lot. Like, the jelly beans are doing a lot of weird fucking ones. I've been seeing lately. You're like, they had like pickle flavor, which is fucking gross. I don't know.
I gotta say, and it's the
They
fatty
had
in
Flamin'
me.
Hot Cheetos too.
I'm curious. I'm kind of curious. Like, I kind of want to try it. You know what I mean? Like,
The KFC ones.
I don't think it's gonna be good, but I'm
I'm
curious.
skeptical that they actually like made new flavors. I felt like they just used those, you know, the bamboozled ones or whatever they call them
The
for the Harry
Beanboozled,
Potters, and they
yeah.
just stick them in a new wrapper or whatever. Like, let's use the toilet water. That's
It's-
gravy. Tastes exactly like KFC gravy. We have no fucking clue why. And then fucking I don't know what the
Yeah.
yellow ones are. Rotten
Yeah.
eggs is the sweet corn.
Yeah. I was say, like, you know, they put out like the mystery flavor ones. They're like, yeah, just throw the mystery flavor ones in there. They're not gonna tell the difference. They're not
Same
gonna know.
colors.
Another eat it or eat it. Okay, Mill with the eat it. All right, right on, man, right on. All right, our next contestant on Eat It or Yeet It. Launching in fall 2025, new product alert. A sweet new flavor of Pepsi is launching this fall. It is Pepsi Pumpkin Pie. This limited edition flavor will be available at most retailers. Pumpkin Pie Pepsi.
I like pumpkin pie, but I don't like the pumpkin flavoring. It tastes fucking weird. Like, you could tell it's flavor, like it's artificial and shit.
Sure.
I don't know. I'm not a big fan of it.
Yeah.
I'm also not a fucking rich white chick, so
Pumpkin pie doesn't taste like pumpkin.
and I also don't want it in my Coke. Like, well, I drink Coke because I'm a real
Yeah.
man, but I don't want it in my knockoff Coke
My
or
soda.
whatever.
My soda.
Mm.
I don't.
And I've had a lot of the different soda ones, and I always feel like the cola overpowers everything else.
Yeah. Or I've had them where they end up the flavor had to be so powerful that it just comes out like almost like a sweet syrup or something.
Yeah.
Where it just doesn't, the balance is not there.
The only thing you can put in there is cherry and whiskey.
Funny, K-Mo said I'd put some Crown in it. There you go. There you go, pumpkin pie Crown. I just imagine them at the Pepsi facility with like a big thing of like pumpkin spice, like it's a
Like,
latte, and they're just like, enough? Is it enough? Did we put enough in there? And like, it still doesn't taste like pumpkin. Just dumping bottle after
dumping
bottle.
it in there.
Pepsi pineapple would be a better option than pumpkin pie. Maybe. Anything pumpkin to bring the white girls out.
Yeah, right.
That's it. They're like, Starbucks has been doing it for years. Why haven't we thought of this?
Why are we on this? Yeah,
Why are we on
year.
this? Pumpkin spice Pepsi. That's what they
Gotta
should
get my
call it.
pumpkin Pepsi up in here.
I get my
Oh,
pumpkin
the
spice
Pepsi. You guys have pumpkin Pepsi? You
I
see
do
that
that
shit
pumpkin
like
spice
fucking
Pepsi.
Denny's or whatever.
Oh God! All right. Next up on the Eat It or Yeet It train.
This one I can't. It's gonna make me throw up. I was looking at it earlier and I'm like, I love one of them too, and I just can't. Thinking about them together just makes me sick.
All right. Everybody loves a Snickers. Everybody loves a Snickers.
What else could go good with Snickers?
think real long and hard about the one flavor of Snickers.
Guess it.
It's missing.
Totally fucking disgusting.
Introducing the new Snickers Pickle. The sweet and savory sensation you never knew you needed. Boldly satisfying and uniquely delicious.
It's like all the flavors shouldn't go to bed. Who eats a pickle and you know what this fucking needs? Nougat.
Chocolate, peanut, and nougat.
I like to dip my pickles in nougat. Caramel. And like nuts. Well, pickles and nuts. Get them white girls over here. But yeah, I don't know. Even chocolate and pickles. Who's like, oh, let me get a chocolate covered pickle.
So I'm gonna let it slide because I love you, Mad Mike. And yes, this was an official post by Snickers. But did you happen to look at the date in which they posted that?
April Fool's, probably.
April 1st. April 1st. You got bamboozled by the post. Because I'm like, I'm thinking about it, I'm like, what a strange.
It doesn't go together. And then if you look at the thing, it's like there's no Snickers in it. So what did they do? Like,
yeah, they just
Snickers water. I don't know.
they drilled out the pickles and then stuffed Snickers in there.
Got me all fucking grossed out for no reason.
Yeah, so that was a gotcha. That was a gotcha from Snickers, the official Snickers post. But we do have others. These are that are actually legit. Next up, we have. So far, this stuff sounds like a pregnant lady. It's a pregnant lady dream.
Right.
You're right. You're absolutely right. All right. So now I have to make sure this one isn't posted on fucking April 1st.
Yeah, I didn't check.
So Olipop, which is a soda brand, which has done a lot of different collabs. So like they've done like the SpongeBob Pineapple Paradise and things like that. Their newest flavor is simply ranch. Introducing
Hidden Valley Ranch, sir.
It's
completely different flavor.
It's a specific. Oh God. And there's four. There's four different ones. So you've got original Hidden Valley Ranch soda. You have the jalapeno ranch. You have the hot honey ranch.
Ugh.
And then you have the garlic ranch sodas.
I don't want any of those. Ugh. And I have a family from Wisconsin, and that's like where ranch reigns king. It's like ranch and butter, but I would not drink any one of those. Ugh, it's making me sick looking at it.
Yes. Oh God, some of the things that you know what are
they gonna sell? Like, the people buying that outside of a gag? Not only that, it doesn't come in a multi-pack. So if you gotta like buy a 12-pack of each one or whatever, what do they come in? 4 packs.
I'll just drink from the actual ranch bottle.
Yeah, there you
You're
go.
better off. You're better off. You're better off.
Yeah,
Save
it's
save your
healthier
money.
anyways.
Save your money. But yeah, these man.
Just think like, oh, imagine being in that meeting and like say there's like 10 people in that meeting and 8 of them are like, that's a great idea. And it's like, now you got to go along with it because you won't be the only freaking one that's against it.
these oh god. I'm feeling nauseous. Let's move on to other things because I'm suddenly feeling very nauseous. This is and I'm not a pregnant woman, so this is
There's
not
one more.
uh, I'm seriously I'm feeling very sick. We need to move on to a different subject. Yeah.
You know what?
So
Cheese it cold foam coffee creamer.
oh man.
Nothing says coffee like Cheez Its.
So Sony Pictures CEO pledges not to make another terrible Spider-Man spinoff. And you know what? That is the biggest and best announcement coming out of Sony.
Smartest decision they've made in a long time.
My God. So the article says, following the various box office flops, Sony Pictures CEO Ravi Ahuja has pledged that more focus and effort will be put into all future Spider-Man and superhero projects. There was a period of time where anything superhero was almost guaranteed to do well. Now they have to have a degree of originality. Nothing
That's not true
infuriates me more than that comment. And here's why. I don't even know where to begin. The thought, the balls, the gall to say that, like,
shows you why we were getting all those crappy movies from them. It's because they straight
didn't
up
care.
Thought like we could just put whatever we want out here without putting any thought to it, and people will watch it. And it's like,
And it's
are you that out of touch with like people?
But here's the other thing about it that really bothers me. Because they can say that. They can say, oh, well, we just throw anything out there and we thought it was good. No. They spent hundreds of millions of dollars in scripts, costuming, shooting, editing, special effects. This isn't some shit that this guy, they're like, we gave a kid with an iPhone and told him to record some bullshit because we knew it would do well. No, they tried. And that's what pisses me off the most is that they're not, this is their way of going like, oh, we own it. We just thought no, you're not. Own it by saying we made shitty movies. We made shitty movies. We didn't know what we were doing. But to be like, we just thought we could just put out something. No, that is such a bullshit cop-out. They spent so much money, right? Because Dakota Fanning was supposed to be the next big thing, and who else? There was Sydney Sweeney was in it, and you got not Adam Driver. What's the other guy? Adam Scott. Adam Scott was in it, and like you got Aaron Taylor Johnson to be in Craven. You got Jared Leto into
Russell Crowe was in Craven too, and it's like
you tried.
And you kept hoping the next one, that one sucked. This one will be better. Like,
Tom Hardy and Venom. Like you were given some of the most unique, memorable, like Spider-Man has the best rogues gallery. I'll fight anybody, any day. And Batman's close. But Spider-Man has one of the most unique and awesome and terrifying rogues gallery of any superhero, and you made each one of them boring, and it's like, God, it's unforgivable. You made Carnage, one of the most legendary, evil, bad motherfucker, and you made him a joke.
Yep.
You made him a joke. Like, unforgivable. They turned Venom into this punching joke, like this whiny,
was
sniveling
also
thing.
at the time like the baddest villain too, and they made him a joke like he's a WWE wrestler or something.
It's so bad. It's so bad. Um,
I can't believe Tom Hardy did 3 of them. Must have paid him a lot of money, but
he was in a contract and he could not get out of it. But anyway, I'm like, as a Spider-Man fan, like I grew up. That was my hero. That was my guy. I loved all of them, but Spider-Man was just extra special. And the shit that they've done to him is just,
well, at least they got Kevin Feige to help him out.
Yeah, that's. I'm excited for this year or this coming Spider-Man movie. I think it's gonna be good. But all right, do we have time for another story? We're getting close to the top of the hour. I feel bad for Tom Hardy, but he could have chosen not to go forward with sequels. A lot of time, these guys get contractually obligated from the jump. They'll have a contract that says you're doing one, you're getting paid this, and if it crosses this threshold, you're locked in for 2 and 3. And so the fact that it made money, they were like, you're now contractually obligated to do the sequels. And I don't got it. I don't got it. Man, it upsets me in a way that's right in the pit of my stomach. It also might be me being nauseous from the fucking talking of the film. I feel so sick right now. Oh God, I feel so sick. Anyway, that or slamming that energy drink was probably not a good idea. I'm gonna be bouncing off the walls.
And all those KFC jelly beans that you ate.
Anyway, all right, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to take a short break, but when we come back, hopefully, I joke. We have our guest standing by. When we come back, we're going to have more for you guys with our incredibly special guest. Mad Mike, you hanging around? Or you calling it a night?
I'm going to call it.
Oh, your baby tired. Your baby tired. He's so sleepy. He's so sleepy. All right. Well, Mad Mike, you want to say goodbye to the audience before we toss it to a break?
Goodbye, audience. Before we toss it to a break. Nailed it.
My illustrious co-host, everybody. God bless him. All right, guys, we'll be back.
Can you
after
tell I work for free?
You get what you pay for. Let me tell you that, guys. You get what you pay for. All right, we'll be back right after this short break. Shots.
Hey, you there? Yeah, it is right, you. Let me ask you something, right? Where the hell do you think that you're going? Oh, would you think because the show's going to commercial that means you get to just walk away? Well, CQ asked me to pass on the little message, alright? And it says, I'll be back.
In the shadows of the city bright, where heroes rise and take the fight, there's a voice that breaks the night. It's CQ with the insight. From the comics to the silver screens, talking legends in those crazy scenes, pop culture trends and hidden themes. CQ reveals what it all means. From the comics to the silver screens, talking legends and those crazy scenes, pop culture dreams and hidden themes. CQ reveals what it all means. Pop culture warrior here to ignite, guiding through the tales of light, with CQ leading the charge so bright. We're ready for another flight. Pop culture warrior here to ignite, guiding through the tales of light, with CQ leading the charge so bright. We're ready for another flight. Marvel at the twists and turns. Villains playing heroes learn. Every episode we'll discern lessons from the past to learn. Games we play and books we read. CQ's list of what we need. Memories that make us bleed. Together we will take the lead. Pop culture warrior here to ignite. Guiding through the tales of light. With CQ leading the charge so bright. We're ready for another fight. Pop culture warrior here to ignite. Guiding through the tales of light. With CQ leading the charge so bright. We're ready for another fight. Charge so bright, we're ready for another flight. Pop culture warrior here to ignite, guiding through the tales of light. The CQ leading the charge so bright, we're ready for another flight.
Hi there. You're watching Pop Culture Warrior. This is the way.
Hey, everybody, we are back. We are back. It is your guy, CQ. We are here at Pop Culture Warrior, and I am over the moon because tonight, ladies and gentlemen, my guest tonight is an Emmy-nominated VFX artist whose work has lit up some of the biggest shows and movies you've seen, including properties like Battlestar Galactica. He's also the founder and CEO of Scary Robot Productions, where he's been blending his Hollywood VFX background with indie gaming development. I cannot wait to get into it. So please welcome tonight's amazing guest, the incredible Dustin Adair, everybody.
Thanks, CQ. I don't know if I can live up to that, but I will damn try.
You give it your best. You give it your best shot. How you doing, man? How's everything going?
Doing great, man. As I said, I'm just I mean, I thought it was gonna be late. I had to go get myself some more ranch soda here, but mm, all
Ah,
good now.
you've been
Um,
spying on us. Okay, all right. Just flexing his stealthy knowledge. Uh,
yeah.
right away, we got to get to know you. I always say that I love doing this because as much as hey, it's great, we're going to promote your work and we're going to promote all these things. Like it's an opportunity to get to know the man, the person behind all the accolades, behind all the work. So right off the top, let me ask you what I ask every guest starting up is what is your military connection?
My military connection is my father. He was in the Marines, although he actually became a fighter pilot in the Marines. Later went on to become a pilot for Delta, but yeah, he went in sort of like post Vietnam, uh, right like in that era, and I had two stepbrothers that also went into the Marines, followed his path as well.
Oh, outstanding. So there you go. Great connection to the military. We thank them for their service and hope they're well.
Absolutely.
Uh, what is, this is a show that loves to celebrate pop culture, right? We did movies, TV, collectibles, obviously, toys and gadgets and gizmos and all the things in between. What do you geek out about?
Well, you can see if you can see the shelves behind me, there's plenty of stuff. But yeah, been a gamer since the Atari 2600 came out. Yes, I am that old. And also just movies. I mean, I was 7 when Star Wars came out. 6, 7. Yeah, my dad dropped me off the movie theater, and I would just go watch it all day because there was God knows there's no such thing as, VHS or DVD or Blu-ray, anything back then. As soon as I left the theater, you stopped watching it. So and just those two passions have always been my key things. I've always loved video games and always loved television and movies, and been exceptionally fortunate to have been a part of both. So yeah, I mean the little inner kid in me just freaks out every day. Absolutely.
That's awesome. I love to hear that. I really do. So, before we get into kind of like the crazy world of visual effects and indie gaming and all that, I've been curious and I probably could have looked it up, maybe. I don't know. But what's the origin story behind the name Scary Robot, right? Because your company, it's Scary Robot. And I'm like, it sounds like there's a story there. And I'm just curious.
Yeah, I don't think I've really talked about it publicly. I've mentioned to people when they ask specifically, but it's sort of an inside joke because I started seriously working on game development back in 2008 and finished my first game in 2010. But at the time, I was still fortunate enough to be working in visual effects, doing specifically animation, character animation for TV and movies and that kind of thing. And I had put together a demo reel because you're always sprucing up the reel because it's kind of like actors, right? It traditionally you go from job to job. You finish a show, you're out the door, and you're trying to book your next job. So you're always updating. And I showed my latest demo reel to a coworker, and he was watching, and I was so proud of it because I had Cylons from Battlestar Galactica, I had Terminator from Sarah Connor Chronicles, I had the mechs from Falling Skies TV series, and I even had some Transformers from the War from Cybertron video game. And I was showing it to a coworker, and the coworker looked at me and goes, "Do you ever animate anything besides scary robots?" And I had not found the name for my company yet. And this is far enough back that I went scaryrobot.com and it said available. I went done right there. Okay, there's the company. So now it's sort of like
Wow.
the subtle inside joke, you know.
That's such a great story. Because sometimes you got to be careful when you ask that. They're like, I don't know.
Mhm.
I thought it was funny. You're just like, well, that was great. Great. Moving on. But no, that's an awesome story. I love that. And you kind of teased about it a little bit. For those that maybe don't know your work, give us the highlights. Brag a bit. Let's see what you got.
Oh, yeah. So if you go back to early days, like I said, yeah, the big thing right from the beginning was Battlestar Galactica. I mean, I grew up on the original as a kid, and they actually paid me to animate Cylons for at least a little while. I mean, I'm sure we'll touch on it later, but yeah, I was a couple episodes in when I got outsourced to Canada, and this was 2004, and that was when I started working on my plan B, which became game dev for the fear that there would be a point in the future where there would be no more work in Hollywood. Foreshadowing. But so I had Battlestar Galactica. I had, like I said, Sarah Connor Chronicles. I got to animate it, Terminators. A little work on some of the cutscenes for Halo 3. Oh, geez, just so much. The Falling Skies was a lot of fun. Premium Rush, I got to do a little bit on the feature film with Joseph Gordon-Levitt, where he gets ping-ponged by cars.
Yes. It's a great scene.
It was fun. Although, actually, it ended up being like 40-some takes just because they're like, that's great, but we still got budget, so do some more stuff. So, it was a bizarre evolutionary process. More recently, I had the great fortune of getting to work on both season 2 and season 3 of Star Trek Picard. If any of you have seen it, the Borg Queen, when she plugs into the La Sirena, that's me, plugging the tentacles and that kind of stuff, and some of the spaceship shots around that as well. The pretty much the last job I got to work on, and maybe my last VFX job, just because of the way things have gone in LA, I got to do a few shots, just a couple of shots, about 7 or 8, on Paul Rudd's latest movie, Death of a Unicorn, with Jenna Ortega as well. So, spoilers, I got to animate some unicorns in a couple of shots.
Yeah, I was gonna say,
Fringe, there's a couple. I worked on the very first episode of Fringe, and then there's a couple little bits here and there, and then the one where the LSD episode where they go in her head and it's all animated. So just tons. Early days, I was starting off doing commercials, but one of my favorites, which unfortunately I don't even think I have on my demo reel anymore, just because you have to squeeze so much content, 25 years worth of content into a 2-minute period. But there was a commercial for Nike called Nike Game Breaker, and it was actually directed. One of the few times we actually had a director that visited us in person. It truly exceptional, but it was David Fincher. So
wow.
yeah,
Okay.
so nerve-wracking because this dude started his career in visual effects. So I will admit there's a lot of times I got stuff through that it's like final, then I'd look at it and kind of go, really? Okay, but David Fincher looks at it and kind of goes, here's the laundry list of what's wrong with this shot. You're just kind of going, yeah, I know. But yeah, tons of fun stuff over the years that I'm just thrilled to have been a part of.
Yeah. I mean, like I said, I kind of cyber stalked your IMDb page, and I saw Walking Dead,
Oh, that's
Star
right, the
Trek.
deer. Yeah.
We're big fans of like the CW universe that had Legends of Tomorrow, The Flash, Supergirl. What
Yep.
else? There was Santa Clarita Diet, which was an awesome show. I thought it was great.
Yeah. I just want to mention right there, that was one of the instances, and I mean, like, so Flash, I had actually been watching Barry get introduced in Arrow,
Mhm.
and I got brought down to work on it. I had moved to Las Vegas at that point, but I would sort of like migrate back to LA to go work on projects when it come through. But yeah, I was sitting down and they put me in front of there, and I'd start loading up my first shot. I mean, and frequently they'll happen where you don't get much context. You just, you have a line saying, do this. Okay. And I load it up and it's like, wait, he looks familiar. He looks like, wait, he was on the Arrow. And I went, oh crap, I'm working on the Flash. I mean, that was literally how and it was the crossover episode. It was the Arrow Flash crossover episode. So I did, I mean, that happens sometimes. When I was worked on the first episode of Fringe, and they showed like the tail of the airplane, and they showed when they're getting on board it, and they show the number, and then the VFX supervisor goes, yeah, that's a nod to to Lost, and I just went Lost, and I went, oh crap, I'm working on Fringe. Okay. I mean, it really would be like that, where you're just, it's like, hey, we got a dailies review here. Come down and we'll talk about your shot. So that did happen from time to time.
Wow. Like to not even know what it is. It's like you head down, doing the job, not really seeing the big picture of it all, but just
Right.
getting your part done. Wow, that's incredible.
Oh,
It's
but Santa Clarita Diet was one that
Mhm.
I'd actually been a fan of. That was my humor. I loved the hell out of that show, and I got to work on seasons 1 and 2. and 3 was the first time that I got to do remote work before pre-COVID. So I was sort of like the canary in the coal mine on that one, you know. But yeah, that working on season 3, Mr. Ball Legs. If anyone has watched the show, it's the little
Yes.
creature guy, you know. And I took it
Such a
big, and the studio backed me on it. So it was one of those things that I kept going until they finally went, yeah, we got to dial it down a little bit, you know.
I was gonna say that was weird. That was definitely a moment that was weird when the leg sprouted out of the little rock thing,
Yeah,
and it
that
was
that prune with eyes.
it's traumatizing. Traumatizing, I think, is a good word for it. But so good job, great job. You
Thank you.
really scarred a lot of us. Uh, um, so and that kind of brings me to my next point, which is you've worn so many hats: animator, VFX artist, game developer, CEO now. Uh, when someone asks you and is like, "So what do you do? How do you break it? What's your go-to answer? Well, how do you react to that kind of a question?"
I said that my day job I did for 25 years until it pretty much went away about 2.5 years ago. And then my side hustle, which was game development, is now my full-time job. Yeah. So that's the thing that I'm trying to do to earn the bread and butter. But you know, my wife and I moved to Las Vegas back in 2011 when I finished my first game. And as an experiment, we just said we'll move out here, you know, just and we'll give it a year. And if it's okay, you know, we'll stay. If not, we'll just pack up and go back to LA. And you know, here we are, 14 years later, and I'm home. And it's just that it was one of the smartest moves that we had chosen to do, because the cost of living, we bought at the bottom of the market for a house. So I mean, you know, I was able to weather any kind of storms that came through. That if we were still in LA, you know, when you have these giant gaps between jobs and visual effects, you know, and you're going paycheck to paycheck in LA, that's a challenge. But with Vegas, it's kind of like, you know, I haven't phone hasn't rung for 6 months. Okay. You know, so
Find something to do.
you know, it was just it was good. But so when Los Angeles VFX kind of, I mean, it's not gone, but I would say there's only about 10% remaining now. So you have to be one of the top tiers to still even fight for that. And I'm content, because the last gig I had was 2.5 years worth of staff position, and they paid me LA staff wages. And once
Wow,
again, Las Vegas. So I've been able to take that and just casually invest and do the game development in that
that's
time.
awesome. That's awesome. And real quick, let's go back to the beginning again, because
Sure.
I'd be remiss if I didn't ask, like, how does one find themselves working in the character animation and the VFX and getting into Hollywood? Because I feel like that's such a leap. If you're not, I don't want to say nepo baby, but if you're not kind of born into that industry, how do you find yourself getting into that?
Yeah, because I was in Atlanta. I was a Georgia boy. I grew up there for several decades before I just went, you know, I got to take a stab at this. So I just packed up the van with no connections and just drove to LA. Now, the analogy I use is that uh, early 2000, the visual effects industry in LA was a lot like Hollywood studio was a century before. You know, I mean, you at that time you could walk on a studio lot and just bump into the right person, and you're like, what are you doing here? And I go, I'm an actor. They go, get to wardrobe, you know, and then you're suddenly you have a career, you know. I mean, that was a feasible kind of thing. And that was kind of similar to the way VFX was. I mean, especially for television, because I came at the time when visual effects for television were really starting to shoot up. Instead of being a joke, it became comparable to film level as it went on. So they needed more warm bodies. And I made a short animated film, and that was sort of my calling card. And I just went around to every user group I could find and showed it to anyone that would see it. And I finally had the right person, a friend of mine named Richard Morton, who was working at a company called Digital Domain, founded by James Cameron all those years ago for Titanic. And he just looked at it and he goes, yeah, let's go talk sometime. And he brought me in and got me into the commercial division, which I was thrilled about, because I was able to fill the demo reel up real fast, because in commercials you're working on new stuff and you have to get it done real fast, make it as beautiful as you can, but get it out the door. I use the analogy of I Love Lucy when she's doing the candy. You just you try and get as much as you can into the boxes. The rest of them you just shove in your mouth and just keep moving. So and I did it. My dream was to move to LA and work at Digital Domain. And after I started off just to pay the bills, I actually started off doing data wrangling at Sony ImageWorks. So if you look at the credits for Stuart Little 2, you will find me as, digital technician, doing a job that I was not qualified to do, but they needed warm bodies, so I got to do that until I got that break and was able to go into DD, Digital Domain. And then I did it for a little over a year, about a year and a half. And then I kind of went, this is my dream. What do I do next? And I just, from that point on, everything was gravy, and it just, it was a time where I saw an ad posted on a website, which is unheard of since then. But I just walked into a company called Zoic Studios and I just said, hey, you're looking for an animator? And they went, yeah. And I had a demo reel with a couple of cool things. And I went, oh yeah, by the way, that's David Fincher commercial right there. So, name drop every time you can. And she looked at it and she goes, yeah, you look good. And she goes, and we were using a program called Lightwave, which technically is still around these days, but it was Titanic used it, the old M&M's commercials. That was this big claim to fame back in the day. And it was a really great tool until it got eclipsed by Maya. But at the time, it was all Lightwave. And she said, can you animate in Lightwave? And I went, that's my thing. And she goes, great. We have a TV show. I don't know if you heard of it, called Battlestar Galactica. And I just kind of went, okay, and it went from there, and then once that happened, I was able to parlay that, once the show got outsourced, as I referenced before, I was able to call up or and ask around, and there were still some jobs available. But what happened was I would get calls from the other places, or I built up enough of a network from friends that I could call them up and I would call him and just say, hey, let's go to lunch. And he goes, yeah, let's do it. Swing by. I'm at the Rhythm and Hues over in the commercial side, and bring your demo reel, and that's it. It kind of built over time. So it got to the point where I stayed mostly busy, which was fantastic, because I'm old. I came to the industry before there was all these schools teaching. So when I walked in and they say, "What do you do?" I go, "I'm an animator." And they go, "Cool, do it." You know. So it was a totally different world. It's not like, where would you go to school? It's like I just sat at home and banged this out. So it was a very fortunate time. And
Yeah.
I'm very thankful that I made the leap and got out there and was very fortunate with my connections and just, kept my head down and just tried to get as much work as I could, and just every now and then stick my head up and realize that, holy crap, I'm doing this, So it was a thrill the whole time, as
Yeah.
terrifying as it usually was in the middle
Yeah.
of it.
It's so interesting you say that because like I a common theme I talk to a lot of composers, directors, indie filmmakers, or anything, and it's like I'm doing the dream. I was doing the dream, and it's such a grind because it
Mhm,
is, and sometimes you have to stop and go like, oh shit, yeah, like
mhm.
I'm doing the thing that I dreamed I would do, and you got to stop and kind of smell the roses for a second. So it's a very common that, and the the imposter syndrome of like one day they're gonna realize I don't belong here.
For 25 years, I still, because these guys were like, classically trained, especially these guys that go, "What were you last?" And they go, "I was at Disney." So you're like, okay, okay, I get it, right?
Yeah, small
But
small
yeah,
company, mom and pop shop, called
oh,
Disney.
yeah, I'll give you one quick fun example. So there's a thing called the EA widow. This is a few decades ago, but there was a time where the industry didn't pay overtime. If you worked 20 hours, you get paid 20 hours. Now, this one woman whose husband worked at EA, she made a big public deal out of it, right? But before that happened, and then they started paying overtime. They went, "Oh my God, you can't do this." So that kicked in. But before that, there was an episode of Battlestar Galactica where Valley of Darkness, I think was the name of the episode, season 2, where the Cylons get on the Galactica and just wreak havoc. And it was 21 shots. And by the time they had actually locked the script, I had literally like 11 days to do it. And I was working 16 plus hours a day. And my producer came up to me and is like, if you want, I'll bring in another animator. I went, no, 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 mine, and just, I was young. I was, younger. I was, hungry, and I just wanted that. So I was doing the crazy, insane hours, but I did not care because I just wanted to have that moment, just that, to have that childhood show and have the opportunity to do it now. But, yeah. And it was a smaller crew back then too.
Mm.
It grew over time, and you got to be more of a cog in the machine. But in the early days, it would be like, you go do this all. And it's like, that was an amazing early time period.
Mm. And we're gonna circle back because
Mhm.
I'm really curious to hear your take on like current day, like the graphics and the VFX and the CGI and all this. We're gonna circle back to that because I definitely want to. I want to pick your brain about that. But
Sure.
since we've talked about Battlestar Galactica so much, that earned you an Emmy nomination. What was that experience like? Being a fan of the show, and I like walk us through. You find out, and like what is it emotionally you're going through?
It was early days, and my soup, the lead stringer calls me up and he goes, "Hey, get a tux. If you don't have one, you're going to the Emmys." And I was like, "Oh my God." And then this was early days for me. And I thought that, wow, this is the way it works. This is the first of many. And no, it was the first of one. I mean, and there's a lot of reasons why I think what happened is over time you saw more producers and supervisors that names were showing up in the credits and less of the artists, but that's a whole nother discussion.
Mm.
But we got to go. It was the technical Emmys, but I don't care. We were there. We walked the red carpet. We had the photographers yelling at us because we were obstructing their view of red buttons as they were trying to photograph them. So what? We were there. I was running a 102 fever, and my wife was like, "Maybe we shouldn't go." And it's like, nudge my corpse. We're going. you know. But we got to go, and the presenters were it was Starbuck and Baltar, right? The actors and actresses that Trish Alpha, and they were actually presenting the award, which was just like, oh, this is so perfect. And they open it up, and we lost, appropriately enough, to the pilot episode of Lost. But it
Wow.
was the first episode. It was called 33, and it's the one where Hilo is chased through the forest by the Cylons. And it was the tools we're using, the rigs that we had to work with. It's amazing how those guys did such a phenomenal job. Because I mean, keep in mind, when I say that I worked on it, it's not like I don't say, look, I did this, right? No,
Mhm.
all I did was move the guys around the screen. There was a group of guys that would render it out, light it, render it, and then compositors that would just make it in the scene and do a phenomenal job. And this is before, if you've heard the term HDR, high dynamic range imaging, this is before that really even existed. So we had all these kinds of tricks. There's a brilliant guy I know named Richard Warlow that invented HDR before it existed. He created these reflective spheres that would extract dots and turn them into lights and create a light dome before HDR existed, which is
Mm.
insane. But in the early days, it's the fact that we were able to get that kind of quality, with the tools we had, was just amazing. So yeah, we got to go, and I mean, I will cherish the fact that we didn't win. Don't care. I got to go.
Hey, Emmy nominated is no like there's nothing to sneeze at, like that's I've never been Emmy nominated. I would say most people haven't been Emmy nominated, so that's
And even got
incredible.
2 Visual Effects Society. We got 2 nominations for 2 episodes of Battlestar Galactica as well. The one I just mentioned with 33 with Hilo, and Valley Darkness with the Cylons on the Galactica. But yeah, both of those unfortunately were no wins as well. But again, just the fact that we got to go was a
Yeah.
thrill.
That puts you in the top 1% of the top 1% of the top 1%, to be there. So that's incredible. When you look back at your credits, right? And now that we're taking that stroll down memory lane, I mean, everything from sci-fi epics to action flicks to all these different things. when you look back, what's a project that you feel really pushed you as an artist?
Wow. That's a great question. I I might have to come back to Mr. Ball Legs. I mean, part of that was, because it was such a unique creature, and because as I mentioned, the first two episodes, he was just kind of there, and he would just kind of move very delicately, and the first shot I worked on is Drew Barrymore walks into a storage unit, and the Mr. Ball Legs there thinks it's its owner, but it's not. She's not the owner. So when it looks up, the instruction was it looks up, realizes it's not his mom, and becomes dejected. So I did this big kind of take where I just kind of he hears the noise, he looks at it, he goes, "Mom," and he looks and he kind of goes, "Ah," like that. And my supervisor went, "I love it, but that's way too much. Dial it down by half." And okay, I dialed it down by half. And I did another run. He goes, "No, still too much, man. The studio doesn't want this much life. Dial it again." So I dialed it by half again. And uh he was so kind. He actually said, "Oh, you know what? I'll submit all three to Netflix and let them review it." And they came back and went, "We love the first one." And I'm off to the races. So from that point on, it was so much fun to just try and put personality into what is basically a prune with legs, and try and have like the idea that it's thinking. So for me, that was, you know, also the fact that, like I said, I was a fan of the show. And for me to have that opportunity to say, if I ever had a chance to animate Mr. Ball, like this is what I would do. So it definitely something there. Yeah.
And I gotta imagine too, like it's I I don't know. I see it from a perspective of, if you've seen, so let's say Battlestar Galactica, and you've seen the Cylons and they kind of exist in real life, so to speak, in costume and things like these, and you
Mhm.
have a sense of how they move. Like this is like animating an inanimate object. This is you're creating life from nothing, right? Because it's like, well, I know how a dog moves, and I know how a
Mhm.
person moves, and how does a prune with legs move? And you go, don't have a lot of reference for that. So that's incredible that you're able to do that.
Thanks. Well, I always once again not trained. I winged it in the same way that when I did game dev, I just sort of like I don't know how to code, learn, okay, go, right? That was my thing. But same thing with animation. So since I never really was trained in the beginning, I worked in a different methodology. Traditionally, animators work from pose to pose, and then they fill in the keys and smooth the motion and make it pretty. I can't do that. I work to steal a line from, what was the old Silicon Valley show? I work from center out. There's what I tend to do is animate the what's called the cog or the center of gravity or the pelvis on the object, and I just make the general motion. And then once I like the performance, then I start adding the body parts around it. So if you looked
Interesting.
at Hemlock Grove, where I animated like 7 wolves that are pulling a guy out of the ground. That was the same thing. I literally animated the body, and I had to explain to them. It's like, no, 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 it's like, but the legs aren't moving. They're like locked. It's like they will. Just tell me if you like the timing and the motion. And the plus side is that it's totally wrong. If any professional animator or teacher would look at it and kind of go, what the hell? You know, but it got done fast. And so the producers ultimately trusted me because it's like, okay, I have no idea what you're doing here, but I get a sense that, you will make it work and you work faster, fine, go. So that was yeah, that was for me with Mr. Ball Legs, right? That was absolutely just get the body motion first and then make the legs blend in, and
Mm,
work from there.
follow the body along.
Absolutely.
Um, and so let's go back to that. What I was saying earlier is VFX has changed a lot since the early 2000s,
Mhm.
leaps and bounds.
Sure.
From your perspective, kind of what's been the biggest evolution in the industry that you've witnessed?
Well, the tools have gotten much better. The computers have gotten much faster. When I animated the Cylons on Battlestar Galactica, when you see today, I mean, like you play any video game, right? I mean, COD, any one of those kind of games, and it's damn near photoreal, right? If you saw what I was working with when I first did like 33, the one we got nominated for, I didn't animate a Cylon. I animated boxes. You had, and they were wireframe boxes because the computers couldn't process it. So if you scrubbed, it would revert back to little square boxes, and then you'd have to do a play blast, just a preview. Play blast is my preview is Lightwave. You do a preview, but then that would also take forever because they go like frame, frame. So then you kind of go, you know what? Maybe if I just look at it and scrub it, okay, that's good enough. So the early days, I mean, I know that's kind of, when I was a kid, but that's kind of the way it was. So, I mean, I'm envious of what the visual tools they have to work with now and the speed of the visual real-time graphics that they can do allows them to be more creative faster.
Mm.
But yeah, it's just I think that was one of the key things. But what I alluded to before, HDR, when you suddenly were able to take a high dynamic range image and throw it on a sphere, so you photograph the set and just drop it on there, and it suddenly goes from like, well, best example was Sarah Connor Chronicles. I was animating the Terminator in a couple of shots, and one where he's in a bathroom and the scientist guy is trying to like hide him away, and he turns around and he drops his cloak and reveals that he's actually a full Terminator. And I was animating gray shade, and that was my old joke, is that I just move gray shade objects around the screen all day and go home, and that's what it was. It was just you didn't even have textures attached to it, then it was
Mm.
just gray shade object. And my buddy Steve Graves, who is the man most guilty for getting me jobs over the years. He's a great friend, and he's been so fantastic getting me work. But he was working on that show, and back then it was not like, hey, come take a look at my screen. We couldn't even show 2K video on computers. They couldn't run it. We had the 2K booth. We had the screening room that was a specially designed 2K machine that could actually project. And he goes, hey, come on down. I'm gonna fire up what it looks like, the render, right? And I went downstairs and I was so depressed. I gotta admit, I was really depressed. It's kind of going, it's Terminator and it looks like crap. And I walk in and I look and I see it render and I go, oh my God, it works. And so because that was the first project I worked on that I remember that actually integrated HDR, because, and especially a chrome Terminator. So they shoot the set and you have that 360 image, and that drives the lighting for the character. And on the plus side, it made it a lot easier to make stuff look more realistic. On the
Right.
downside, it made it a lot easier. So, it was easier. You lowered the bar and made it easier for other people to come in and do the same job.
Mm. Hmm. That's fascinating, man. Do do you ever find yourself watching movies now and like instead of enjoying the story or being in like you're critiquing the effect, you're like, oh, I would have did it differently, or that's sticking out, or you see,
I I will. The effects have to be significant before I look, but the animator in me will definitely kind of go, "Ooh, wow, that was some springy motions there in the character." He was leaping a little fast, that kind of stuff. Conversely, I will also look at an animation and just kind of go, "I could never animate that. That guy sucks. I hate him." But I'm out of the movie at that point. I'm out of the show because I'm more focused. A perfect example is Alien Earth. I hate that show because the visual effects are beautiful. The animation is stunning. And I just kind of look at it as kind of like the fact I'm not on it just means I hate it because it is beautiful, is fantastic storytelling melded beautifully with cutting edge visual effects that are absolutely indistinguishable from feature quality now. So th- yeah, absolutely. That happens a lot.
I was gonna say, does the eyeball give you a little reminiscent of does that bring back some feelings,
You know,
familiarity?
yeah, I hadn't even thought about that. I guess I was so like focused on the way the eyes kind of come together and the fluid motion with the octopus tentacles and that kind of stuff that I was, and just the personality. But now that you mention it, someone owes me royalties, damn
There's like the
it.
bones are there, the skeleton's there, the feel is there.
Great, you ruined it for me. Now I can't watch that thing and not think about, no, but I mean, just the amount of thought that that character possesses is just astonishing, and I love that, So
Yeah.
yes, I get pulled out for bad animation, but I also get pulled out for fantastic animation, and it's worth it just because I could just sit there and appreciate. It's like, my God, that is so beautiful, and I'd love to see that.
That's good. That's good. I fall into the military trope of like, I've been out for 20 years, but I'm like, this guy's got no trigger discipline, and this guy's flagging his muzzle all over, and that metal's upside down, and like I get so heated when I see this stuff. Or a grenade, that this massive explosive fireball, and I'm like, what is this? What are we doing? So yeah, I get it. I get it but I love that when you see the good stuff that also takes you out of it. Bad for you, but I like that. So from Hollywood studios to kind of running your own indie game studio, that's not exactly a straight line. That's not a typical trajectory. So what pulled you into gaming?
Well, I mean, I always dabbled, always wanted to. I mean, for those old enough, my buddy and I, we had a Commodore 64 between us, and then there was a Compute Gazette magazine that would have codes that you could type in and have a video game because we never had money for video games. And invariably there would be typos. So then we would have to debug code, So even in those early 80 days, there was exposure to the programming. And I always loved the concept of it, but it wasn't until we had what we used to refer to as WYSIWYG type environments. What you see is what you get environments where you could develop it versus just having a giant line of code and you hope to God that something comes up on the screen. And if it breaks, then you have to go through your code endlessly and find out. Nowadays, with Unity and Unreal, Godot, and all these other game engines, the bar has been lowered to allow everyone to have an opportunity. And I love motivating people to try it because it's free. These games game engines you can download and develop and not pay a dime until you start making significant money. So I mean, I definitely feel like a drug dealer in that aspect. But you know, so for me, it was when Unity came out in 2008, originally for the Mac. Believe it or not, it was a Mac only kind of thing, and I dabbled because, like I said, because I was seeing more and more stuff getting outsourced, and I was telling all my friends, "Work on a plan B, guys." I mean, it's like I try to say that I think there's a time where this work will not exist, and where's it going to go? And I go, "Well, India and these other places, they do terrible stuff, and maybe now, but they will improve." And it took longer than I thought. It took a couple decades, but I did get proven right, unfortunately. But so for me, it was when I referenced Halo 3. So Halo 3, I was working on cutscenes for that by day. By night, and weekends, I would go home and just try and see if I could make a game. So I was teaching myself coding at the time, teaching myself the principles of how the game engine even works and that kind of stuff. So it was 2 years, but my motivation and fear that the industry was going to disappear on us prematurely, but it's coming, was a motivation for me to keep pushing and get that first game out. And once I did, and it had a bit of success, for its time, that's when I just went, what, let's keep doing this, and when it, I was able to come out to Vegas, and then the game did well enough that it was like, okay, let's pursue the other ones and the ones that followed. But it got this nice balance because when LA would call and say, "Hey, would you want to come on the show? I'll be there Monday," and I drive back to LA and work for a couple of weeks or months, and that subsidized the game development stuff. So it's just been this symbiotic relationship that allows me to not have to kill myself and worry that every game that I make has to make money, which I do now. But at the time, I always knew that I could fall back on the occasional VFX job to keep it going. So for me, it's just been 12, I mean, well, no, sorry, what is it, 14, 15 years now, actually since the first release, so more like 17 years of tinkering with the game dev stuff. And I mean, it's through osmosis I've gotten better, so it's just what I'm able to do now dwarfs what I was able to do back then. So I'm always excited to like push on to the next project, and see what happens next.
Yeah,
Hopefully profitably so.
that right. That's the idea. And you talked about your first game, and I think that was what, Poker with Bob, right? Was that the
Poker with
one?
Bob, very
Yeah,
yes.
I
Yeah.
did my homework. I, with that being the first game out and having a little success, what's kind of like the biggest lesson you learned from launching that game?
Um the lesson I learned was completely wrong. The lesson I learned was that if you make a good game and you release it, you can sell it and make money. And that was true. That was true when I released it because this is before Android even existed. So this was all iOS. This is all Apple. The game had 7.5 minutes worth of animation that I did in Maya, and it would run on an iPhone 1 at 30 frames a second, and it was just 5 card draw. And I had all these people going, "Why didn't you do Texas Hold'em?" It's like, because I don't know how to play Texas Hold'em. I know 5 card draw, right? So that was the game I did. And I sold it for 99 cents because this predated in-app purchase and ads.
Mm,
But as I started working on the next projects, then those came about. And once that did, it's like, wait, you want me to pay for this? I mean, the irony of someone saying that I'm not going to spend 99 whole cents on a game on their $800 iPhone. I mean, there's
right.
a little irony there.
Hmm.
But so the lesson I learned was wrong. And then I kept trying to play catch up. You know, um, I was trying to do free to play. And the lesson there that I quickly learned is that everyone loves to talk about Clash of Clans and all these games. It's like they make hundreds of millions of dollars. It's like, yes, but they spend hundreds of millions of dollars. I mean, the last I checked, and this is dates back years ago, and I have no idea what it is now, but there's a term called CPI, cost per install. And that is how much a company is willing to pay on average to get one person to download their free game in the hopes that they will, monetize them. And that number I last looked was over $20. And the scary fact is that 90% of those people will play the game for 5 minutes or a short time and uninstall it. So that means that you have one out of every 20 that now has to financially compensate for the other 19 that quit. And that's why they're spending all that money. And I realized that I couldn't go that route. And so my last game, because it was an IP that was tied into you know Tribbles from Star Trek, he wanted it to be a mobile game, and I was really pushing for PC. And we kind of, we split the baby and we did both. And now that we've moved on to the most recent one, which is I've been so fortunate to license the old Lost in Space TV show from the 60s and turn it into a point and click adventure game, which is basically a fancy way of saying storytelling with puzzles. And that one I just said, drew a line in the sand, and I'm just, no more mobile. It's just going to be PC and consoles.
Hmm, that's interesting. How does your and man, the time is flying by, but there's so many good questions I want to ask you. You have such a great knowledge of all
Part
this.
2 coming up.
Right, you're right. Exactly. We'll have to do a sequel. How
Sure.
does your VFX background kind of shape the way you approach making games? Because does that mean like you see things differently than a traditional maybe game dev might?
I'd like to think that I have a more of a cinematic eye. I mean, it's great that I have a very cheap animator, because normally animation is one of the most expensive things. So, that is a great thing that I know that I don't have to say, "Ooh, we'd like to do all these cutscenes, but that's expensive." It's like, no, it's not. So, yeah, it's been great that, and especially as the phones and the PCs have gotten more sophisticated over the years, it can get to the point where it's nearly indistinguishable from like what you can render. I mean, it looks better than stuff we were rendering, 20 years ago in actual CG. I
Hmm.
mean, that's just astonishing.
That's incredible. And yeah, I mean, we didn't even get a chance to touch on the trouble with Tribble or Tribble troubles
Yeah.
and the Star Trek licensing and the Lost in Space IP. And I mean, it's incredible what you've been able to accomplish, uh, small indie dev style. But I know you had a phenomenal conversation with our good friend Nemo, and people can check that out. As we wrap up, I want to give you a moment to, are you a social media guy? Do you Instagram? Do you Facebook? Where can people follow you? Where can people find you? How can people interact with you?
Yeah, I'm really terrible about that, unfortunately. That is totally my Achilles heel. That is definitely my Achilles heel. The best thing if you go to scaryrobot.com, you can find all the basic stuff. I'm terrible about my social media. I try and do it, but I mean, whenever I say, "Hey, we should post something," the game maker goes, "Shut up, I'm making the game." You know. But if you want to interact, I always have Discord active. So if you come to scaryrobot.com, I have the links on the top and you can find the connection to the Discord. So if you want to reach out to me personally, that's by far the best way. But also just to find the games. Some of the games are no longer available on mobile because as they've changed over the years. I've not gone back to update them because that's just too much time. But a couple of them, like we didn't get to talk on it, but Poke with Bob is playable in a WebGL version on the web browser. And my biggest hit, which got over 7 million downloads, was a throwaway game that became a massive hit called Save the Titanic, which I might revisit. And that one's also available on the WebGL. But, so that's probably the best way to reach out. Is just go to scaryrobot.com and you can find all the games there.
There's some good stuff on there. I've poked around a bit. There's some good stuff. Let's end on a fun one.
Sure.
If you had unlimited resources, right? No budget, no restrictions.
Mm-hmm.
What's the dream project? What would you make happen tomorrow? What are you going after?
I would absolutely do the final books from The Expanse, where they're 30 years older. That is, I've had the pleasure of working all these great sci-fi shows, but Expanse, I don't know if you can even see it up there, but I have the Rosinante back there. To me, The Expanse is the greatest science fiction show of all time. I know that's sacrilege to a lot of people, but it was so pure and it felt more like a documentary. And they ended it at the right time because the books jumped 30 years. So I would do it as CG animated. If I couldn't get them back, I would just do it because it's such a phenomenal story. So I would love to come back and do more Expanse just for me so I could see it on the screen.
That's awesome. Well, there you go. We put it out into the universe. Let's universe, do your magic, make your thing happen. I want to thank you so much for taking the time
Thanks
to
for having me
sit
on,
down
man.
with us, man. This was a phenomenal chat. We definitely got to have you back in the future. I'm sure
Please do.
there's many more games, many more VFX shots that are in your future. So we'll definitely have you back in the future. I'll give you the last minute or two here to say goodbye, to do your own farewell, to tell people what to go check out, what to go play, what to go download. The floor is yours, sir.
Yeah, Lost in Space, the game, the first adventure game, will hopefully be coming out soon for PC as well as Nintendo Switch at a later date. But there is a demo available on Steam. I'm gonna update the one that's on itch.io pretty soon. But yeah, give the demo a try if you like it. Just give me a wish list, and the game is going to be the first of 5 episodes, so it's about a couple hours worth of gameplay, but it'll be nominally priced. So once it comes out, I hope you give it a chance. Also check out IMDb if you want to find out what I did for quarter century.
Is it like if you were like, this is the one thing I did, if you're only going to take the time to see this one thing I worked on, what's that thing?
Wow. Even Battlestar Galactica will always be a personal favorite, just because that was the childhood show. So having the opportunity to work on that at different points, I mean, I even got to model and animate a sans clothing version of Boomer, in a particular episode. So I mean, there's, the fact they paid me to work on that show is just amazing. But I think it still holds up pretty well, even as old as it is now. I think it still does pretty well.
That's awesome. All right, ladies and gentlemen, you heard it from the man himself, Mr. Dustin Adair. You are incredible. Can't wait for our next conversation. I'm so glad we met each other at San Diego Comic-Con. It was a quick meeting, but it definitely left a mark. So I appreciate you taking the time. And ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to go say goodbye to my guest. We'll be back with more show right after this. Say goodbye. Bye.
Bye.
Hey, you there? Yeah, it is right, you. Let me ask you something, alright? Where the hell do you think that you're going? Oh, what do you think because the show's going to commercial that means you get to just walk away? Well, CQ asked me to pass on the little message, alright? And it says, I'll be back.
In the shadows of the city bright, where heroes rise and take the fight, there's a voice that breaks the night. It's CQ with the insight. From the comics to the silver screens, talking legends and those crazy scenes, pop culture trends and hidden themes. CQ reveals what it all means. From the comics to the silver screens, talking legends and those crazy scenes, pop culture trends and hidden themes. CQ reveals what it all means. Pop culture warrior here to ignite, guiding through the tales of light. With CQ leading the charts so bright, we're ready for another flight. Pop culture warrior here to ignite, guiding through the tales of light. With CQ leading the charts so bright, we're ready for another flight. Marvel at the twists and turns, villains playing heroes learn. Every episode we'll discern lessons from the past to learn. Games we play and books we read, CQ's lessons what we need. Memories that make us bleed, together we will take the lead. Pop culture warrior here to ignite, guiding through the tales of light. With CQ leading the charts so bright, we're ready for another fight. Pop culture warrior here to ignite, guiding through the tales of light. With CQ leading the charts so bright, we're ready for another flight. Pop culture warrior here to ignite, guiding through the tales of light. With CQ leading the charts so bright, we're ready for another flight. Pop culture warrior here to ignite, guiding through the tales of light. With CQ leading the charts so bright, we're ready for another flight.
Hi there. You're watching Pop Culture Warrior. This is the way.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are back. We are back. We are back. Is my camera weird? My camera's weird. Let's go punching a bit. There we go. That's better. Hey, everybody. What a fun time. What a fun time. Fun time had by all. Dude, Dustin is awesome. Just good people. Good people, man. I know I've said this a million times, but we are so blessed that, you know, the quality of guest I've always had on this program has been so phenomenal. You know, it's hard to quantify, really, as I sit here and I think about and I ponder how lucky I am that I get to share some time with people that are always so enthusiastic about what they do and so passionate about what they do and love to share what they do, regardless of, I mean, we've had actors, comedians, musicians, directors, composers, writers, artists. Fucking, I'll talk to a juggler. I don't give a shit. Like, you know, we joke when we started this years ago. I said, dude, I'll talk to the fucking catering guy. I'll talk to the grip number 3 on the call sheet. Like, to get a glimpse behind this kind of magical curtain, this kind of, you know, I don't know, man. There's something about it. There's something about it. I can't quite describe it. I'm not a writer, obviously. I can't quite describe the feeling of just getting to be part of it in a way, you know, because, as you know, most people, you turn on your TV, you go to the theater, you are experiencing it as it is intended. But I don't know, there's this I get this sense, this feeling of euphoria and kind of like pulling back the curtain and seeing what's behind it. I don't know. I maybe I'm weird. Maybe that's just because of, I don't know. I have no idea. Um, I've been very fortunate over the last couple of years to, you know, I got to tour Marvel headquarters and you know, again, seeing how the sausage is made, you know, seeing behind the curtain. It's so cool. You know, our good friend Eddie McClintock, you know, filmed his movie Takedown and invited us out there, and we got to be part. I mean, I went to just get to be on a movie set, and we ended up in some of the shots. So that's a very cool thing. I'm waiting for that thing. That should be coming out soon. But yeah, man, like I'm always so I finish an interview and I'm always overwhelmed with gratitude and just this serenity, this peace comes over me of like, that was good. I enjoyed that. You know what I mean? Like, as adults, you know, you have to grin and bear so much in life. You have to suck it up. You have to drive on. You have to, you know, grin and bear it and all these things. And when I get to sit and just have a conversation that I so thoroughly enjoy, and oh my God, it's weird. As it would be a weird analogy, but it's almost this energy vampire situation of where like the guest comes with this enthusiasm about what they're passionate about, and I get to just suck it up. You know, I get to really just take it all in and live vicariously through them. I always said I wish, you know, if not for certain branches and paths in life, I wish I would have got into acting. Yeah, true story. True story. Did some high school theater, some musical theater. Was even in a off Broadway play one summer, and I really thought that, you know, acting might be in my future. And if not for 9/11 happening when I was in high school as a New Yorker, kind of set me on a different path. But yeah, I maybe that's why I'm so fascinated with all the behind the scenes, right? The special effects, the makeup, the costumes, the directing, all of it. You know, as much as I'm a fan of actors and I think they do incredible work, and I don't know, I have to talk to a shrink, get a feel for why I am the way I am. Why do I enjoy so much other people talking about their professions? I don't know. All right. Well, that brings us to the end of another phenomenal, wonderful, amazing, huge episode of Pop Culture Warrior. I want to thank Mad Mike for joining us the first hour. He's in bed. It's his nappy time. He's getting old. Guys, he's getting old. Just taking his nappy time. But I want to thank Mad Mike for joining us in the first hour. I want to thank my guest, Justin. Good Lord. Dustin Adair for joining us in the separate hour to talk about all his amazing accomplishments and his work in Hollywood. Really go check out Weekend Co-ops. Weekend Co-ops, the page has a video that Nemo did interviewing him all about the gaming stuff, all about the game development, the IPs, how he got into all that stuff. So go check out that video. It's really, really great. It's really, really great. Really, really great. I don't know why I always slip into a Trump. But we got that. Like I said earlier, we will be at New York Comic Con next month. We're gonna put the team together and figure out that. Hey, Captain Wayne, still alive. I just got back from the hospital. I'm gonna get a surgery next month that goes through my throat and then heart and then through my liver into my. What the fuck, man? Surgery through my throat and then heart and then my liver into my stomach. God bless, man. Thoughts and prayers with you. Let us know. Man, let me know. Hit me up, man. I'll send you a get well card. Like that's a lot. Speaking as someone who's been in the hospital many a time and has done many a surgeries, that sucks. And hope internal bleeding. Ew, God damn, man. God bless, dude. I hope you recover well. We need you. Don't be going nowhere. If you see the light, don't walk into the light. Stay with us. I need you. I need you here. You're one of the 6 people that watch the show. I kid. But no, man, wishing you well, brother. Thank you for popping in. And yeah, we're live. We're just wrapped up an awesome interview with Dustin Adair. Yeah, I thought I said it wrong again. Dustin Adair. And man, what a great guy. Enjoyed meeting him at San Diego Comic-Con and just geeking out about, his game there. And he's got big things coming, man. Big things coming. I'm very excited for him, and we'll stay in touch. Maybe we'll bring him back when some of this other stuff kind of populates. But all right. If you puke blood or shit black stuff, call the EMTs. Yeah. That's typically a red flag or black, depending on which end it's coming out of. Not to make light, but that's not a good thing. Not a good thing. Did I have something else? If you missed it earlier, was saying that we're well overdue for a giveaway. I'm well aware. And that the next time we don't have a guest scheduled, we'll do a bunch of giveaways. I'm thinking like a solid hour of giveaways because I have so much shit to get rid of. I have so much. I mean, stuff from MGS Con, stuff from San Diego Comic Con. I still got some stuff from New York Comic Con last year. I got stuff from, Jesus Christ, the 250th birthday of the Army. I've got stuff. Man, I've got stuff for days. So, yeah, well overdue for a giveaway. Well overdue. You guys are awesome. I really wish I had a few G's to go to Comic-Con. Man, brother. Yeah, I wish I had a few G's to offer to cover the expenses. real talk, I'd love to get to a place where this stuff makes money, not for me. I don't need money from this. I don't. But that it pools enough that I could be like, hey, surprise, I'm flying one of you out to New York Comic Con to be my guest, and I'll cover hotel and I'll cover airfare, and I'll cover food and what. Like, that's my dream. Most people are like, oh man, I wish this would pay for, my bills. And I'm like, nah, my bills are fine. My bills are fine. I'm good. I don't need it. But if this could bring in money that I could then, obviously, maybe get a better camera, a better microphone, or whatever, a little thing. But realistically, if it could cover just the cost of like traveling to conventions and getting to bring people to convention, that's the dream. That's the dream. Captain Lee says, got a small MTG fantasy bundle today though. Last one too. Yeah, man, those are hard to get. The Spider-Man set's coming out. Which let's see if I can reach without pulling. Oh my god. Spider-Man Magic the Gathering is coming out, and oh, look who's got some welcome decks. I got this is white. This is red. Oops, wrong side. Red. I got green, and I also got black and blue somewhere in there. Yeah, man. I was so happy to get these, and I still haven't cracked them open. I have not cracked. They're still wrapped. They're still perfectly wrapped, and the plastic. I haven't even cracked them open yet. But yeah. So that's that. We'll be at New York Comic Con next month. No show next week, the 16th. I'll be out of town. And then the week after, the 23rd, I don't think we have a guest yet. I know we have a guest on the 30th. So be on the lookout for Spider-Man exclusives at Comic-Con. Yeah, I've already got a bunch of Spider-Man exclusives because San Diego was popping. I got those decks, and then I also got this, which is pretty cool. It's a Amazing Spider-Man comic book, but it's actually, it has the, like, is secretly like Magic the Gathering. Like, it has the, let's see if I can populate it, but it has the icons. Oh, nope, wrong side. The Magic the Gathering icons, and like the bottom, that's like a Magic the Gathering card. It even calls him Legendary Creature, Spider-Man, or Spider-Human Hero. So yeah, so there's a couple of cool stuff that I got Magic from that. Also got this super limited edition, rare, one of a kind of Magic the Gathering. What is this? Avatar. Katara the Fearless. Which apparently is going for quite a bit of money. Didn't know that when I got it. But anyway. What was the other thing I was going to say? Oh, yeah. No show next week. 23rd's open right now, so that might be big giveaway day. The 30th, we have a guest. And then, yeah. Lots of really cool things coming. We have 2 new shows that are on the cusp. One should be premiering October. One should be premiering November. And then we've got some other ones in development, in early development, that could possibly be, December and January. So WTF Nation Radio is growing. It's growing. It is a lot of work. I'm going to tell you right now. I have been driving myself to the breaking point, not just for this show, but for all of WTF Nation Radio, because I think that we are in a position to do some really, really cool, unique, big things. So if you or anyone you know is interested in jumping on board as we, take this rocket ship to the moon, please reach out. Let us know. I have a link where you can fill out an interest form and possibly get interviewed to join the team. We're looking for everybody. We're looking for everybody from content creators, hosts, co-host, schedulers, people that are good at graphics, people good at editing, people good at sound design, people that are good at marketing, people that are like, if you've got a skill, we can put it to use. Like, if your skill is Excel spreadsheets, we'll find a use. You know, if your skill is crocheting, we'll put you to work on merch. I don't know. But we are in a big recruitment drive. We've already brought on like 10 new members, and we need about 100 more because I've got big plans. I've got big plans. Big plans. Big plans. But anyway, all right, I've jabbered on long enough. Thank you guys for tuning in, for watching another amazing episode of Pop Culture Warrior. Like I said, we'll be off next Tuesday, but this Friday we do have FTX. So FTX happening this Friday. Something big's going down. I'm not gonna talk about it, but tune in Friday, 8 p.m. Eastern. Something big's happening. We'll see you for FTX, but tune in tomorrow night. Wednesday night, we got Sports Bar, followed by the Smoke Pit. Thursday, Sergeant's Time. Friday's FTX, and Saturday is Weekend Co-ops. Sunday is currently a Donza Day. No scheduled activities, but that'll be changing soon. And then, next Monday, you got The King and Me, our newest acquisition, The King and Me, 7 p.m. Eastern, followed immediately by the Monday edition at 8 p.m. Eastern. So lots and lots and lots of cool stuff coming out. I could kind of paint some things, sort of, and put in some sick guitar riffs. Bro, reach out. We'll figure it out. We will figure it out. I'm all about it. All right, guys. Thank you for hanging out. We'll see you on FTX, and then not next week, but the following week for Pop Culture Warrior. Stay good, people. Shots.